Hello, gamers, and welcome to Checkpoint Reached, a weekly show where we discuss a topic in gaming with some occasional news stories, some movie and TV quotes thrown in, and just some random life rants. I'm your host, Lex, along with my other host, Ernie.
Hello, hello.
Hello, Ernie. How goes it, my friend? How is everything?
I'm doing great, dude. I'm doing well. Dude. I feel like I always have an ailment every time I talk to you. Like, there's
You
something that
do.
happens, and it's
It's
not me.
me.
It's not. And it probably is. I don't know. But I woke up have some sort of stomach bug or a virus. I don't know
Oh,
what you want to call it. It's the stomach blaga, dude. It's like it's eating away at me, dude. It's crazy. I know we had a little date night last night. We'll talk about that a little later.
oh,
But
hey,
I
oh,
thought it
hey.
might have been thought it might have been
Spoiler alert.
I know, right? I thought it might have been the beer that we had because we were drinking, right? But no, it's like something's going around because like my wife has it and like we are all suffering.
Oh,
But
wow.
other than that, I am doing great. I just feel like I just felt tired. I was like sluggish, and I'm like, dude, what could
Hmm.
it have been? Could it have been like? Because I know at one point during our the little hangout, you and I, you bit me, and every time
Because I bet you.
because
I mean, we can talk
and
about it. Let's talk about it. So last night. Well, first of all, I'm glad you're doing okay now. The little bug you had.
yeah.
I'm doing pretty
I
well.
was
Like
gonna say,
you,
how
I
you doing?
was extremely tired this morning, but I wanted
Mm.
to mention why you probably had the bug. So, okay, so yesterday, Ernie and I went to a little gathering of sorts,
Mm.
a little Dungeons and Dragoning, a little Dungeons and Dragon events. I've
D
always
and
wanted to
D,
get
D
into
and
the
D.
game. I've never had a time. Ernie has played before. My only experience with it really is Baldur's Gate.
Oh.
Um, for a couple hours, there it is. I've been rolling around. But yeah, we went. It was at a brewery, and dude, it was a lot of fun. I had a great time. I wanted to say because Ernie gets to like this horchata seltzer, just like, and he's drinking it all. This is awful. So I was gonna say, well, that's probably what it was. That
Dude,
freaking
dude,
seltzer, bro. That thing was.
that thing was nasty. And I
I
don't
don't
know how
like
you
seltzers. I just always stay away. But I tried it. Yeah, it was not good.
Yeah, dude, I don't know I don't know how every one of you guys is or not. But like let's say cuz I'm not a big beer drinker, but like if you guys buy a beer or an alcoholic beverage and you don't like it, you already paid like 8 bucks or whatever. Like you got to force yourself to drink it at that point, right? It's not like you
Yeah,
don't just throw it away. You're like, "You know what? I don't want it. I'm going to get something else." I just drink it, right?
yeah.
I've always
Usually,
been
like
like
usually if
that.
you're like yeah, usually if you're like a bigger group of people, you can be like, hey, do you want to like switch? Like someone else. There might be someone who does like it.
True,
But it was
true.
just us 2, and like I said, I don't like seltzers. You weren't gonna give it to Mr. Cheezel. But yeah, we
Mm-mm-mm.
had we had a great time. I don't know, it was a lot of fun. I mean, it was one of my first times playing. I can say I had a blast. It was so what it is, they host these events and, and they have multiple tables. I think it was like 4 tables are running with different little campaigns, but all the campaigns are the same because 'cause they're quick games, so everyone can get a chance to play. Because there is an entry fee to get into this thing, and so yeah, so you're basically the same thing as to attack some kind of monster. So everyone gets in a circle, you get to choose your characters, and I had a blast, man. I had a really good time. I was really into it. I look forward to doing it again. It's funny because I had bought in the Dungeons and Dragons starter pack a long time ago because I did want to get into it. I genuinely wanted to get into it and just never. Now this is giving me more the strength, I suppose, the build. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I feel
But
it.
Yeah, but, Ernie was, he oh gosh, I can't think of the story. The Sword of Duquesne. No, I'm just kidding. I was trying to think of the community episode.
It's
I
been in
couldn't
my
think.
family. No, yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. I'm glad that we ended up going. I know we were like kind of like going back
That's
and forth, like, should we spend the money? Should we go? Does the time work? Should we go together? Should we bring extra people? Should like it was like there was like a whole like conversation for a while,
yeah,
and it was funny because I had sent you that on a whim. Like I didn't really expect you to go as like not that you went hard, but you actually were like, yeah, you were down. It was
yeah.
interesting because I was like, because usually when I send you those things, it's either that or like I'll send you an anime rave, and I'm like, hey, you don't want to go to an anime? I don't understand it, or so you know what I mean? You'll like,
Yeah, yeah, I'll be
you
like,
won't shoot me down, but
"Chill."
you'll be like, I don't know if it's for me, kind of thing. And so
Exactly.
I was pleasantly surprised, and you ended up planning it because you know how I am with planning, and thank you for that.
No,
And
but
so
it's
go
sorry,
ahead.
I don't mean to
No, no,
interrupt you, but
go
I just
ahead, go
wanna
ahead.
say this because I think it was funny. Because so when you originally sent it to me, like, the tickets were, like, 20 bucks, right? But as it
Yeah,
got
we
closer, it kept saying, 4 left, 3 left. I'm like, "Oh, I'm already
yeah.
but we gotta do it now." And it's funny because I bought the tickets that said 2 left, and it still said that anyway. I was like, "Oh my gosh." But the price did go up a little bit, but which is fine. But next
Yeah.
time, We definitely, and now we know we do it
But
right, and
I
we
don't
know
know.
we know what to do
We
next
go full
time.
regalia, dude.
Eh,
Yeah, that's the
Full regalia.
dude. I forgot that it was like cheaper, and then you
Yeah.
had asked me, "Hey, it's 32 bucks now.
So
Are
I
you
was,
still
yeah,
down?" And I'm like, "I'm down." I honestly, for me, I think like it was just worth the experience because
yeah,
I've
I
never had
definitely.
anything like that. It was interesting.
So the top tier was like $45, and I would not have been down to pay 45 for that. Um,
Wait, top tier to do what? It didn't seem like
like the
anything.
top price if it ever, like, once everything runs out, as they say.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I thought you were saying like if you paid 45 it was like a VIP experience, like some
No,
whoever
no.
the
There
host
was
was
some.
going to be there rubbing your back or something. I don't know.
There was some add on. I don't know what it was, but yeah, we met this guy who was
Mm,
like the host, and like this guy was
damn,
like
yeah.
he was a talker, dude. He's a talker, but he was cool. He really
He's a cool dude. I
good
like that guy.
good
He's
vibes.
good
Everyone was
people.
really nice and very welcoming. If you do consider getting into this, it's very, and like me as a first time. Everyone, they explain it to you. People help you out. They're not there to like, obviously you're not doing these intense campaigns, because like you talked to some person yesterday that said they're still on a campaign like after a month, right? And I think these
No, there's a
campaigns can take
girl
a very
who's
long
had
time.
it. So one of our dungeon masters, because obviously we said we played like 3 different games. One of them, I think her name was Sabrina. I asked her, I'm like, what's your the longest campaign? And she's, I'm on it right now. And it's been a year.
I think it's a month. I don't know why I heard you say a month.
Nah, it's been a year. I was like, dude,
That
that's
is pretty wild.
crazy. But I mean, it's cool because I guess it's not just like one thing you're doing. It's like you're doing it progressively throughout the whole thing, and it really depends on like what they do. I don't know how they make these campaigns. That is like
I
a
mean,
whole
there's
nother
someone
level,
putting
right?
together, but again, like I think it just comes down to the dungeon master too. They can make it the way
Mm,
they kind of mold it, which is pretty. It's great. I mean,
yeah.
I've it's a lot of fun. Definitely recommend if you're ever wanting to get into it. Like I said, I'm definitely down to go again. I think they host it every month. So yeah, we'll plan. We'll figure it out, and let's bring more people for sure too. Because I was like, oh, I think my girlfriend would like it too. Because like I said, it's not tough. It's not hard. Because it's so funny. Because there was a campaign we did, and it happened to do. It was like you kill an ogre, and then like later on, like you reveal that he had two little kids waiting. So I text my
But-
girlfriend. I'm like, yeah, we just killed the ogre, but at what cost? I told her. She's like, what are you talking about? And I had to tell her this
yeah, dude, it
morning.
was sad because like even the dungeon master goes like, you can look around and see if you want to look like rummage around or like look at something. And there was something on the floor, right? And he tells you, "Do you want to look
It's like
around?"
under a blanket,
And
yeah.
it's like, I'm telling you, you shouldn't. Or I forgot. He like kind of like warned us.
No, he didn't say anything. He just had a tone in his voice. Are you guys sure you want to look? And the
Yeah,
guy was like,
that's what it
yeah,
was.
yeah,
Okay. And then I think our cleric, which is like the healer,
yeah.
he goes, yeah, I'll look around, and I look, and then he goes, and you pull off the clothes, and it's 2 little ogre babies, and they say, "Mommy, is it safe?"
Or dad, as
And
it say, or yeah,
or
or whatever it
something like
was.
that. And I was,
Yeah,
dude, I think it was the mom, and I was like, yeah.
I know.
And so
We're always.
and then we all as a collective, I was already down. I think I got smacked by the ogre, so I was like on the floor, but I kind of got healed. And then we all looked at each other and we're like, let's just raise these kids as our
As
own,
our
take them to
own.
college. And I think like we all kind of like, but that was the fun of it, right? It's like
Yeah.
the guy was saying that I think his name was Gerard.
Mhm.
He was saying that that's the fun of Dungeons and Dragons, right? Is that it's not just what you do in this particular part of the game; it's what you do with the rest that really
Yeah.
brings in the game to life, I guess, or
Yeah, definitely. Because yeah, that's it's something that would happen, right? It's like you run into this family, and they're like, "Oh, wait a minute, they're just this guy was just passing by." You know, like that video. I think I've sent you that video. It's like there's like a guy playing CFDs, and then like they're shooting at another ship, and all you hear is, "We're just passing by. We're just passing by. We're just passing by." They
yeah,
pass by. They
yeah,
start shooting. He's all,
yeah.
"We're just passing by." It's so funny. I love that. It makes me laugh so
Oh my
hard.
god,
But yeah, dude,
that's
great
awesome.
experience. I definitely
Yeah.
recommend. Let's do it again. I'm gonna try to find some time to read the what I have, because I think it comes with the character sheets already. So I would love to play it and get other people to kind of see it, because it's a great time. I don't know if I'll ever get to that level of dungeon mastery, but it is awesome
I think you just got to keep practicing at it, right? Like you just got
for
to keep
sure.
doing it and seeing how you work at it. From what I've gathered from the past couple games I've played with it, it's like when the dungeon master is having. I was telling you this before. I was like, when the dungeon master is having fun, like everyone is having fun. But it's
Yeah,
like also
exactly.
like if you're having fun, and I send it to you in the audio. It's like if you lend yourself to the experience, like we were, where we're like, I think I was telling you like it was a silly thing, but it's like I was like a wizard, right? And I'm like, I use these fire hands and I grab the ogre's head and
Yeah,
I'm burning his head and I'm looking him in the eyes as I'm doing this. Something like it's really silly, but it's like all like
no,
it's
yeah,
an
you could, yeah,
imagination thing. But I'm lending myself to the experiences, right? And so like that helped when you freaking end up doing the story because other
yeah,
people are gonna start doing it, and then the dungeon master's having fun with it.
yeah. I think at one point I went down. I was like, "Oh, good, Joe." They're just like the guys were laughing. Obviously, some guys weren't as comfortable doing it, but you know, and then Nick Offerman when we had him do our dungeon master, he was cool too. The guy with the hook hands. I say Nick
Oh
Offerman
yeah,
because
yeah.
he kind of reminded me of what's his name? You know who Nick
From
Offerman is,
community,
right?
is it not community? It's Park and
Parks
Rec,
and Rec,
right?
yeah. But anyway, great time, 10 out of 10. Let's continue on here, shall we? We got some breaking news. Ernie, I know you wanted to dive into this about the Nintendo delays with the pre-orders because of the tariff news.
Yeah,
Get into it.
so apparently, Nintendo had released a thing after slightly after the episode that we aired, a few days after that. They
Hmm.
said that they're canceling the pre-orders, which was supposed to be April 9th, which is today,
Yeah,
and
that's right.
apparently it has to do with tariffs, right?
Hmm.
Now, Lex and I are not well versed in tariffs and what they are, but the I can kind of briefly kind of explain. Basically, certain countries that ship products to America will have a higher tax on
Hmm.
whatever they sell here. So if it's American made, it'll be a little cheaper, and if it's Chinese made, it'll be a little bit more expensive because it's being shipped. Now, as of record, apparently Trump has stopped the tariffs for
90
Japan and all
days, I
this
believe, yeah.
for 90 days, right? And so I don't know how that works if
Except for
it's for
China, I think.
everyone. Yeah, so which is cool. I'm glad that that's kind of happening. I'm not sure how that's going to work. I know China has a really high one. I
Hmm.
don't know what to. Again, I really don't know. I know people are talking about the movie industry crumbling because China's not going to allow movies to go over there or whatever. It's like a whole thing, but we'll see.
No, yeah, I will say, I mean, it has been a big topic of conversation at my work as well, my other job, because we do a lot of shipping from there as well. So I've been in it, and yeah, it is affecting the business for sure. And we're trying to find new ways to what we can do as far. I mean, there's really nothing we can do, but because we mostly get our product from China. But yeah, I mean, again, like yeah, again, I'm not well versed. I'm not here to tell you, what how it is, and we're just kind of telling our opinion.
Yeah,
Obviously, do some research, look into it. It's
yeah.
everyone has
It
different interpretations, but yeah, it's a crazy
definitely.
going through a
It's
little
in.
crazy time.
I know it's interesting because, like, I mean, they make it sound like Nintendo is doing this because of the tariffs, but like, truly, Nintendo is doing the pricing. It's not the tariffs; they already had it
Yeah.
planned,
No,
right?
yeah,
They were the
exactly. Yeah,
ones that were
it's
wanting to do this. Um, the only thing I was thinking about this recently, but I don't know how well you remember like just gaming because games used to cost they were expensive at some point, right? I know a
mhm.
lot of people go like, let me just leave this screenshot here, and it's like a screenshot of Nintendo 64, $70 game or whatever the heck. And it was like
Yeah.
a whole thing, and it's like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. That was Nintendo's games. Nintendo did that.
Mhm.
At some point, developers, when Sony had come out with the PS1, were going like, we need to make games cheaper. We need to make games cheaper. So they opted out for the CD. That's why games became $50 and everyone started going after it. But still, Nintendo brought out the GameCube, out the little disc. It's like, no, we're like, we want to be different.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
but that was different. It was like, you recall this, right? When games started being 45 to $50
Yes. Mhm.
because, and when it was that thing, it was the CD. So everyone kind of like followed after that because of that. So I don't know. So I've always found it interesting. I'm not a big historian. I don't know everything. I don't know like the pricing of everything and how it was. I know, like I said, some person will drop that Nintendo 64 a Toys R Us picture and it's like look at how much games used to be or whatever.
Well, I
But it's
know,
like
but
no,
it's
at some point we started to have games be cheaper. Like it was
mhm.
$50 and it was because they were cheaper made in terms of like how it was given to us.
Yeah.
So but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's funny when I always see
Yeah.
that too. It's because like I always look at that. It's like, okay, yeah, that was what
I'll
when
be
when did
back,
that came out?
brother.
The 90s, early 2000s. Like, yeah, it's a
Yeah,
different
yeah,
time. The dollar wasn't as, the
yeah.
dollar is different.
Hey,
Money just changes. This is
I'll
what
be back, brother.
happens,
Keep
and
just keep going. I got to do something with my daughter. She's
then
calling
the
out to me.
wages.
Sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna get into the next topic here about what we're playing. Now, I will go ahead and tell you what I've been playing. So I have actually still been playing some Assassin's Creed Shadows. It has been fun. I just now got to Yasuke barely. I was telling Ernie about it. He's the and it's fun playing with him because he's a big brute, and I haven't played with him too much, but his fighting style is a lot of fun. Um, but yeah, I think I don't know. He's not as agile as Naue. He's like I tried climbing with him. It's kind of slow, and I'm kind of glad they did it that way though, because if they made him climb and be as like agile and all that stuff, then it would be kind of weird. But it's nice because you can't climb as much stuff. You can't be as hidden either. You're pretty much seen all the time. But like fighting enemies is so much different because you just go in there and just blunt force and just very brute force, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun to play with them. I don't know exactly who I'm going to play with more. I think I'm going to probably opt for Naue just because like I always pass by the what are they called? The things that you go on the top that you synchronize and you see the world. What is it called? The eagle's nest or whatever. I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, it's like I always pass by stuff with him now, and I'm like, oh, I can't really do that because he can't climb it. So I don't know, but it's kind of a little overwhelming to have both their characters now. Like I kind of wish I just stuck with one character. Like I don't know how you feel about it. I think Grand Theft Auto did it the best way.
Yeah, where you
Like
kind of, but that was like, I feel like it was more integral into the story than the way that you make it seem or sound with Assassin's Creed. It kind of like it doesn't really matter. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I haven't played it
No,
right.
it doesn't because there's options. They're talking about doing something, and it's like play as him or play as her, and I'm like, okay, and like you just choose who you want, and then you can just switch whenever. You don't have to stay as that character. So I guess at whatever
Yeah.
calls for, you can be like, okay, actually, I'm not feeling it with this guy. Let's switch it up,
Okay.
which I guess is cool. But like you
On
said,
the
like
back row.
Grand Theft Auto is way more natural. Um, but yeah, it's so I'll have more on that. I mean, I don't want to get too much into it because I know I've been talking a lot of ass cred. But there is a game I did try that is a new release, South of Midnight. I went down to the bayou, Ernie, my friend here. This game, I have only played about 30 minutes of it. Now, if you're not familiar with this game, it just came out. It's like I want to say like a very pixely art style. I don't know why I can't think of the exact animation, what it's called. Maybe Ernie will know a little better, but it's very like kind of pixely and it's stop motion. That's what it is. I'm sorry. It's kinda stop motion style, and it's cool. I mean, the music's great, the character seems cool. Um, from what I've heard, it's only like a 9-hour game, which is great. I mean, I think I'll be able to beat it. It's on Game Pass, so I can play that real quick. So far, it seems cool. I mean, I have not gone farther into it. I was hoping to get a boss fight done, but yeah, I just wasn't able to, so unfortunately. So yeah, those are the games I've been playing, and obviously still playing that Split Fiction. There was a part, I was kinda telling Ernie about that a game called Shadow of Colossus. I'm sure most people listening to this have heard of it, but there's like a part you fight this boss, and there's a really cool reference to the game, and I thought it was really cool. So almost done with it. I'm almost done with Split Fiction too. So hopefully I'll get it done. Hopefully, I don't think I'll get it done by next week, probably two.
Yeah.
But anyway, what about you, man? What are you playing?
Yeah. Well, hopefully you get it done. I know you're talking about South of Midnight a little bit, which is dope. I definitely want to give it a try.
Mhm.
I know our Game Pass ends soon, and I know, and it's funny because this is the reason I'm bringing all this up is because I wanted to start playing Indiana Jones recently, which was a game
Mhm.
recommended by you. And so I started it. I started playing it. I'm like really into the beginning. I don't know how. Do you know how many hours that is where I am? By chance, can you? I don't. I
What'd you
always
say
have
you
to.
were again?
I'm by like. I'm at the church. I'm trying to collect the camera, and I'm at a priest.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that area usually you can make it as long as you want it to be. Um, But yeah, you'll get another section, and then after that, another section. That's pretty much it. So I think it's like I wouldn't say a third, but I mean,
That's
you're
pretty.
still in the beginning of the game. It's still pretty early, but like I said, like you can make that section as long as you want. So
Yeah,
it's
it
kind of hard
feels
to
like
tell.
it's pretty much the beginning. But like I was telling you this. I don't know if you heard it in the audio yet or not. But I'm enjoying the game. I like it. I'm thinking about it, but I'm not thinking about it where I'm like, man, I can't wait to go back and play it. But there's something about the gameplay, the sneaky element of it, that I'm enjoying. Like, there's something about that that's drawing me to it. But I'm not like really, really looking forward to playing it. And it's not that it's a terrible
Mhm.
game. It's just like I have other things in mind that I want to finish and play, like FF16, which is my other game that I'm playing. And that game is cool. I'm enjoying it. I mean, graphically, it's really pretty, but performance wise, it doesn't run that well. And I'm playing it on PS5. I think I should have waited for PC.
Mhm.
To be quite honest with you guys, I think it would have been a much better experience. Just
It is on
because.
PC. Oh, I'm sorry,
No,
Final
I know.
Fantasy.
I'm
My
saying.
bad. Sorry. Yeah.
What are we talking about? Oh, the Indiana Jones you were done.
Yeah, I was talking about Jones. Sorry.
Oh
Yeah,
no
go
no
ahead.
no FF16. Well, FF16 went to PC as well, but
Yeah.
I think it runs better on PC. The PS5 for whatever reason it just wasn't running well. I changed from quality to performance quality, and it's still the same or whatever way you can mess with it.
Mhm.
Um and yeah, so I'm playing through that. I want to beat that game. I don't feel like it's that long. There's a couple bosses that I've seen I can kind of get through. And we'll see. I think I was talking to you about this before, and I didn't have the words because after I beat Velgard, I mean Velgard is not a really great story, but the gameplay was decent. I enjoyed it. I had fun. I
Mhm.
think with Final Fantasy 16 and Velgard, I think which is funny to compare those two games, but it's because they're just so close to my gameplay time with them.
Mhm.
Is the pacing? I think the pacing on Velgard was much better than it is on FF16.
Oh.
FX16 has like this like you're gonna fight these bosses, you got to get to this, and then it's like a big old cutscene, and it's just very
Mhm.
it's not jarring at first, but it's just like it's so long that you're like, man, I want to get to gameplay, like I want to play,
Yeah.
like let me play,
But you also
and
wanna see the
it's
story too, right?
yeah exactly because yeah exactly because the story is so it's cool, like I like it. It's very like Middle Earth, freaking like Lord of the Rings sort of like Final with its own fantasy sort of take. Yeah, Final Fantasy sort of taking it's pretty fun. Like I like what I'm seeing, but yeah, the pacing is awful. It's like I want to fight, right? But let me tell you about another game that's the pacing is amazing, great game, great story, beautiful. I have a lot of fun playing this game. I put now at this point I've put about 143 hours into the game.
Jeez.
We're talking about Elden Ring. Did I went back. I did seamless co-op with a buddy of mine, Kyle Golden Doodle, friend of the channel. And I beat Radon.
Oh, you're
The
talking about the
last boss
DLC
of
or
the
you're talking about
DLC.
the regular
No,
game?
the DLC. I beat the
Okay. Yeah,
DLC.
you just said
Shadow of
Elden
the
Ring.
Urn Tree.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, Elden Ring Shadow Iron Tree, right?
Yeah, people didn't know.
Um,
Mhm.
no, you're good. Thank you for you got to clarify. You got to clarify.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I beat that game or I beat the campaign for that DLC, and man, dude, it is fun, bro. Radon is my favorite fight from Elden Ring was probably Margit, the one of the first ones that you fight, just because of the way it kind of played out. Wasn't that crazy of a fight, but I
Mhm.
remember having like a really difficult time in learning to dodge and all that.
Mhm.
But man, Radon, bro, I'm telling you, has one of the coolest like fighting sequences I've seen. Like there was a time where like he has two phases, and when you get him to the second phase, he goes into the air and he like starts slashing at you with like this mirage of himself coming at you, and it
Mhm.
looks so freaking cool because he's still in the air but he's throwing this mirage of himself at you. and
Mhm.
then and then I don't know how this happened, but I was fighting him, and like Mikola, which is his sister, she like I'm fighting and I'm because I'm close to him, like because I'm like just I'm a dex build, so I'm just always hitting, and a strength build, my bad. And Mikola grabs me and she tells you something while you're fighting mid fight. When she doesn't, you're not getting hurt. He just grabs you,
Oh,
and I was like, "What
what
the?"
the heck? Oh, so
Dude,
she's
it
not
was
even part of the fight.
no, she's not part of the fight, but she does that to you at that point. But there was like, it's the dude, it's so freaking cool. It is a great game. Like I had a fun time in it. I know Kyle he'll attest to this. Is like we would get to a certain place, bro, and then he like it would open up, and then
Mhm.
it's like it was more, and then you would go to the other place, and then it would open up again, and it was more. I was like, dude, this game doesn't end. It's like there's so
Oh my
much.
gosh. Yeah, that's
Like
how the game is.
you could spend about 200 plus hours still, dude,
Oh, I'm sure
doing stuff.
more. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man. But I'm done with the
That's
game,
crazy.
dude. I'm keeping it for now, just in case someone wants to do seamless again. But I'm like, I've got all the achievements for the regular game, and I finished all the DLC stuff for the most part. I think I'm missing like a few bosses, but yeah, I mean, crazy, great game. But that is all I've been playing, my friend.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, I
Yeah.
wanted to just touch on Indiana Jones real quick. Yeah, I kind of felt that way when I was playing it, where I was like, do I want to keep playing it? Or I wasn't like intrigued, but after a certain point, I think when you get to the next section is really when I got into it. So hopefully you have that same experience that I did.
Yeah,
Um, I will say I don't think I used my gun as much because it's so
I know.
satisfying to punch and like use your whip and like use like
Yeah,
thing items. So I'm curious if that's how you're gonna be the same way,
yeah.
like
It's
how I
funny
was.
because I'm so glad you brought that up the gun because I was fighting this guy and I started to like sort of panic, like button mash
Hmm.
because I don't know, I just was.
And you ran out of stamina.
And
Yeah,
I know, and then my like gun and a gun came out. I was like, I have 6 bullets. I was like, what the heck? I have a gun,
yeah. It's
and
not because if you think about it, Indiana Jones doesn't always use his gun, but like I feel like it's
yeah,
more of his wits. But anywho, well, that's good, man. I'm glad. So we'll get more into next week of what we're playing more, and we'll
yeah,
see if. But let's go ahead and jump into the meat and the potatoes of the episode here. We're talking about in honor of The Last of Us season 2 coming out this weekend. We kind of want to talk about the show and the game a little bit. This is episode just going to be more about, we're not going to really dive into deep with the game, maybe spoilers at the end, but I just basically wanted to talk about, our love for this game, right? Like, I remember when it first got announced, you and I think I remember just like, oh my gosh, this looks crazy. Like, what is this? Obviously, Naughty Dog, you know. But it was Uncharted. Yeah, Uncharted 3 was before this. Yeah. Because I got the PlayStation for that. Because so this game is crazy. It's kind of like Grand Theft Auto, right? It came out on PS3, came out on PS4, out on PS5. It's pretty wild how many iterations this game has released, remastered, uh, just redone for PlayStation 5, torn apart,
yeah,
and it's like, oh, these guys are they're milking it. And I myself am part of the problem because I buy these things. I just
yeah.
bought the controller. I think it's coming tomorrow.
Oh
The
no
Last of
way!
Us
I thought
special
you already
edition.
got it.
It was a pre-order, so yeah, I think I release this tomorrow.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
then
Okay.
I got a backpack, I got the steel book, I got the toys. I adore this game. I love it. I mean, I think we might have talked about it on the episode before when they released that first demo, right, for the PS3. I think I redid that demo so many times that I knew that section when the game was ready. I think you had the same experience, right? You played it a couple times.
I did. I played it a few times before I got the full game. So I'm with you, man. I mean, this game was it was the most anticipated game for a while for me, and I think this is the one that wasn't this the game that you went out for me, so you didn't play this game, right? This is the story.
Oh, so yeah, well, funny thing is, this game didn't have a midnight release. Come to find out, at the GameStop we had reserved it at. But yeah, we saw Man of Steel that night. I remember it was Man of Steel, and I was like, I know you love that movie, and I was all mad. I was like, "Ah, that movie sucked. I couldn't have played Last of Us." I was all mad
Yeah,
at you, but I
yeah,
think
yeah.
I was
You
just
were
giving
mad
you
at me.
crap
Yeah,
more. But I mean, it didn't even matter. That game didn't even release
yeah.
anyway. And you know what's funny? I think when I went to go pick it up the next day, I asked them, "Oh, did you guys have a release?" And they said no. And I don't even know if I told you till like later because
No,
I'm
you
like,
never told me.
I
Like
don't
you
think
eventually told me until we did like an episode of the cast
because
because I had felt bad about it, right? But like
I'm a
I
damn. Yeah, I was like, I give this guy so much crap. And it didn't even happen.
yeah,
So
and
it's
I'll tell you guys what. Until this day, he still gives me crap. So I'm
I still do. No, you're the one that brought it up. I wasn't going to bring it up.
yeah,
But
I had to.
yeah, I mean, I think part 2 is releasing for PC as well. I think you were
Yeah,
talking about how you might even get it, right? Were you thinking about that still, or
yeah. Well, I'm thinking about getting both of them, dude. I don't own. So you bought. I have The Last of Us Remastered, which is the first remake iteration of it or whatever. And then there's The Last of Us Part 1, which is like the PS5 version. And then The Last of Us Part 2, whatever, like
yeah, and I bought both of
redone,
those,
whatever.
like the collector edition version.
Yeah, so I don't own them, but I was thinking about getting them. I'm like, man, should I buy them on PC and just kind of play them? But I'm also like, I own them on PS5, or at least I own Part 2 on PS5 where I could just upgrade for like $10.
Mhm.
And then I think with the Part 1, I'd have to buy that one fully.
Yeah, I was planning on trying to beat the second one before the show came out, but I'm like, I have other games I want to play right now. I'm gonna play it eventually, but I still haven't
I
played it since I
know,
bought it,
dude.
the part 2 remastered version for the PlayStation 5. But I mean, that game
I,
already looked fantastic on the
yeah.
PS4, you know what I mean? So
You
it's
know,
like,
this
like
is the thing too, and I'm so glad that you brought this up about part two because I was thinking the same thing, right? Like I'm not gonna play part one. I'm just gonna go straight to part two, and I was like, should I play this at nighttime when I'm gonna go to sleep and my wife is next to me, and I'm like, then that was the thing that I was thinking. I'm like, I probably shouldn't, because if I play this part 2 in front of her, she's gonna know what's gonna happen in the season 2, right?
Hmm.
Because it's a pretty like, what ends up happening in terms of the story. It,
Hmm.
de- it is like it's gonna be part of the season 2. Like I don't think they're gonna get rid of that unless
Yeah.
they like make it, like they prolong it with 3 seasons or whatever they're trying to do.
Yeah, I mean, I will say too, when the second one came out, it had a lot of mixed reception. I thought it was a fantastic. I thought it was a masterclass in storytelling. Very
Same, man.
risky, very
Yeah.
very risky move they did it for that game. And if you know, you know. I mean, we can get into it at the end of at the end of the episode if we really wanted to, but I'm really curious to see how they're gonna do it for the season. Um, but yeah, I will say, I mean, yeah, I feel you on the not replaying the second one, and like I have my uncle who's just starting to play too for the first time, which I'm really excited for to hear his
Mhm.
thoughts. But yeah, it's funny you bring up that spoiler thing, right? And I have a buddy, friend of the cast, Jamie, who said he was playing to get ready for the game
The
for the
the
show.
second
I'm
one,
sorry, huh?
the second
The
one or the
second the
first one?
second one, and he said that
Oh,
he,
that's crazy.
and his wife walked in and saw the major spoiler, and she's like, "What the hell?" And he's like, "Oh,"
Oh
so which
no.
is pretty funny. I'm like, "Oh man, that
Because
sucks."
that's what I was thinking about with my wife. I was like,
You don't want
I
them
was
to
like, that's
see,
not what I
but
want to happen. Yeah.
yeah. So, but I mean, again, like as far as the first one, I feel like yeah, you're gonna jump to the second one, right? Because gosh, I can't tell you how many times I played the first one. I think I played it
Yeah,
the
dude.
first time,
You
then
and
I
I
played
both,
it to get all
man.
the trophies, then all the collectibles, and
Yeah.
then I played it for the remaster, and then I played it for another remaster. I played it like over 6 times for sure. It was funny because my girlfriend and I were talking about, I guess, at her work about the show, and like one of the guys that she works with is like, "Oh yeah, I'm a big fan." I'm all, "Oh, has he played the game?" She's all, "No," and I had, and I was walking this way. You can't see it. And I go, "So he's not a fan." The way I did it, she like started laughing. She's like, "I'm gonna tell him that." And I'm like,
Oh my gosh.
but I mean, I'm
That's
kidding. You
it.
can be a fan of the show, but it
Of
is.
course, yeah.
But I mean, obviously, like I recommend if you haven't played these games, play these games. I'm sure they're gonna have some kind of deal. Yeah, but like you said, I think they're gonna be coming out with a bundle thing. That was like a rumor, right? That they're gonna come out with both again with
Yeah,
like
that's what I
another
was telling you. They're
edition.
doing
And I
one
was like,
more, right?
and I think you sent it to me. I'm like, oh man, Lex part of the problem. Here we go, because I'm probably gonna get it.
I know. It's funny. You had sent me. So you talked about the controller, right?
Yeah.
And he sent me the controller, and you just sent me the controller. You're like, I forget. You didn't. I don't think you said anything. Maybe maybe you said, I'm thinking about it or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I don't think you should, but you probably should.
Yeah,
Cause
I
like
know.
it looks still dope. And like, dude, don't get me wrong. Again, yeah, I guess you're part of the problem or whatever, but also like this is the game you love. Like the
Mhm.
amount of money when I was in love with this game, like at least Destiny at the time, the first one, dude, the amount of money that I spent on that game was stupid. I have like
It was your destiny. Mhm.
yeah, it was my Destiny. It was like I have the regular base game, the one that came with all the DLC, and then I have another version of that like copy of the game. I had, dude, up the yin yang of like Destiny. I would buy that game for people. I bought that game for Kyle. I bought that game for you, and then I bought that game for someone else, dude, because I loved it so much. See, and Bungie didn't tell me anything, dude. They
My
didn't say, "Hey, thank you." What?
my question is, when you got Kyle his copy, did he have the cover art
Yeah, he
and
did. He
the
had the cover art, dude.
yeah, they already
And
gave it
you
to me
you
with
had the
the blank cover.
CD.
He took it from yeah, I wanted it. I'm like, which is fine. I didn't really care. But it was just
You know,
funny. I'm like, oh,
see, I'm not a big steelbook guy like you are, but I was a big like
cover
Destiny
art.
collector of
Yeah.
things, dude. I have a freaking Alexa Ghost, like from the game. I have an Alexa that connects to my Alexa, and it's a ghost.
No, that's cool.
You know what I mean? So I understand it,
Yeah. I mean,
but
yeah, so also I want you to kind of get into too. Like you ended up seeing a live little iteration of some of the scenes from the game at some point. I know you invited me. I forget what happened, why I couldn't go or what happened, but I'm so upset that I didn't go because you got to go to this thing. Can you talk about it a little bit?
yeah. So I think they released it. Like you can watch it now. I think they put it out, but there was this random event that I played on, or not played, sorry, that I got, that I somehow got, dude, I don't know, there's a particular year in my gaming history where I was able to go to E3 for free, go to this event for free. I went to the Game Awards for free. I got tickets to an after party to see Skrillex for free. It was like a whole, dude, it was like this whole like experience for one point. I mean, the
Oh.
Skrillex one was kind of weird because I ended up losing my ticket and someone else got me in. But either way, I was there. I saw like Major Nelson. One of them, I don't know if it was him. I think he was like smoking a cigarette, bro. Like all the top execs who were right there, bro. And it was the craziest thing. But yeah, let's go back to the last one. It was my bad. It was a little rant.
You gotta tell me your whole story there. Good.
Yeah, so I went to this thing in The Last of Us. It was like in some theater, and basically it was Neil Druckmann, and he would come out on this podium and he would say, "Oh, this is the scene where this is happening," and it was the voice actors would come out. So it was Troy Baker, I forget the
Ashley
lady's name
Johnson.
that passed away. Yeah, Ashley Johnson, and the one that passed away recently. I forget her
Oh,
name.
the test
That played
actress, right?
test actor. Yeah, I forget her name. I'd have to look him
Her
up.
name
Sorry.
too. I can look it up.
But she
Good.
came out. The girl also, not Nadine. Oh my god, that's freaking Uncharted 4. You look up the cast for me if you can, please. I'm like drawing a blank, but they were all there and they were all doing, their the
Annie Wershing was her name. Yeah,
okay.
She passed away at 45. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it was cool because
Are you talking about Laura Bailey? Maybe is what you're referring to?
Yeah, Laura Bailey. Yeah. Did she didn't pass away, right?
No, she was the voice of Abby in the second one. But
all right. So they had this whole theater thing, and like I think, oh man, I hope they put it out. I was looking for it on YouTube, but I don't think they're gonna pull it out. But they just basically rehearsed a lot of the scenes, dude, and you would have gotten such a kick out of it just because.
Yeah.
I mean, you love the game so much, and I ended up taking another buddy of mine who had just started playing it. He didn't even finish it. So when we got, dude, Ivan, from the channel.
Yeah,
well, hopefully,
yeah.
I don't know if he watches it or not, but he was there and he had a good time, bro. And we got like steelbook cases of the game, and we had them signed by the actors, right?
Yeah.
And I gave you a copy of that.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Which is great. I appreciate. And there was also I had bought the backpack, and I forget what event we went to where we saw him again, and you gave up your ticket to me so I can go meet them to go get a signature.
Yeah.
And I did. I got their signature, and I remember I told Troy, because I had ran into Ashley Johnson at E3, and I took a picture with her. And I also saw Neil Druckmann, and he gave me the stank face. But when I went up, I was like, Neil Druckmann, I gave him all stupid. I was like, Neil Druckmann, he was talking to people. But I remember going up to Troy Baker. I'm like, I finally found you. I've been looking for it. He's all, you found me. I was like, yes. It was sweet,
dude, that guy's tall, bro.
And
he's a handsome guy.
Yeah, there was some other actors too from the second game, but I didn't know them yet, right? They were kind of more hidden under wraps. But that was awesome. And I have that backpack still. It sucks because the signatures are so faded out. Like you can barely make it out, but you can see it. But yeah, dude, great. I mean, and obviously I'm pretty sure sorry, I had a little brain fart there. The game was originally gonna have a movie released, and that never happened. So, lo and behold, we got the show, which I think they does a great job at reiterating the first game. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff that we would love to see because this is so different, right? Playing a game compared to Ernie right now. He's showing the clip of the live show, but yeah, it's just so different, right? I mean, how it gets done. But I think they did a great job with season one. There are things, like I said, obviously we talked about Billstown. Like Billstown in the first game is a lot of fun, but the way they did it in the show was beautiful as well. There was a totally different new story. So I know we're going to see that for the second game, the second season for sure. Now, what I will say is like, I think Bella Ramsey's great as Ellie. I don't know how it's going to be for the season 2 because this is supposed to be set 5 years later. And she doesn't look any older because in the game, she looks a lot older, right? Ellie's taller. She looks more withered and kind of like beat up. So I don't know. I'm really curious to see how it's going to happen. I hope she does. I hope she does great. I mean, I think she's going to do great, but like, I don't know. It's going to be interesting, right? I don't know if you feel the same way.
No, I do, but I think to be honest with you, I kind of feel like they're going to probably do a thing where it's not 5 years. It's like less than or something like that. They're gonna they can shorten it. I mean, like you said, with The Last of Us Part 1, the season 1, right, which is The Last of Us Part 1, when they changed Bill's town, they told the story of Bill and his lover, right?
Mm-hmm.
We only get that in bits and pieces in the story when we're playing the game, but they went and fully did a different story. So they could possibly change the second one to fit the sort of narrative of the show a little bit.
Yeah. No, definitely. I Yeah, well, I mean, we'll see how it goes. I mean, I'm excited regardless. It kind of sucks that we're getting split seasons. I mean, I can see why, but at the same time, it's like, man, it's like we're gonna wait for season three. But again, we know what happens. But I mean, I am excited to see what they do. Um, I know our my one of my biggest wishes, which I don't think is gonna happen, is throughout the games, there are sections where you collect notes and you collect, like Ernie was mentioning about Bill. You only see this relationship with notes, and the notes are saying like, "Bill, you're an idiot. I hate you. I'm going on my own." But obviously, the show is different. But you see like these stories, and one of the ones we always bring up, you're in the sewer, and it's a story of this man named Ish who crashes on a boat and finds a family, and they end up having this whole life in this sewer, and you're seeing this whole life play out until you get to like a tragic end, and it's super depressing because obviously this world is depressing. There's nothing happy about it, but I mean that little you're shining little spoilers in that trailer, but I don't know, maybe people won't put it together, but um yeah, it's I hope they do that, but also it's like we kinda wanna see our main characters. I don't think people who are new to the show are gonna wanna see that necessarily, but again, like, the Bill episode was so good, I mean, it's kinda the same thing with people who haven't played the game, right? So, I could be wrong, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, no,
I
I
don't know if
don't
you're
know
gonna
if you
say
were gonna
anything.
keep going. I
Uh
wasn't gonna say anything, but like, yeah, no, you're probably right. I'm truly, I'm more curious. Like, I think that's the thing about I mean, we've talked about this before when we talked about The Last of Us, but the world is a character in its own right,
Mhm,
and there's more to it than just the beautiful scenery that you're seeing, because at this point, like, the foliage and everything is kind of taking over the world because there is no one taking care of it, and it's so different. Animals everywhere. It's a whole experience, right? When you're in this world. But the thing I will say is that, like you said, you find these stories of these people, and that's like one of the things that I want from season two is like moving forward, get those stories told, right? Because we only get to read them, and our imagination obviously is different than everyone else's. Like, everyone has their
mhm,
own sort
mhm.
of mindset on it, but
Interpretation,
also
yeah.
like it's kind of cool because you sort of see it in the world. Like, you'll see like these like moments of like death or like stuff like that, and then you're like, dude, what happened here? Like, there's I always thought, I think we have talked about this one before as well, but the skeleton that was like in a bathtub. Do you remember this?
Mhm,
It's like
mhm.
dead, and I think they ended up killing themselves if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, mhm,
They unalived themselves, I should say. That's like
mhm, mhm.
the way everyone says it now. But and it's sad because you hear the story of what's happening and why they do what they do, and it's crazy. It's such a desolate world, but like that's the stories. There's like these moments of like of light where it's like you said, the guy, he finds his family and they start living in the sewers and they're okay, and they're thriving for a moment, and then all of a sudden, dude,
Just dread, yeah. It's
yeah,
And obviously, the Henry and Sam story as well. Yeah, I think honestly, if they were gonna go that route, it would work as like a spin-off series, and it could just be like separate stories, right? Like just like a couple mini-sodes, and like let's just bring those to life. Because like I said, I mean, it might be tough to bring those randomly into the that have nothing to do with the main cast. You know what I mean?
true,
Um,
yeah, I think you're right, but it's just they would have to do it a certain way where it does fit the narrative of something, because
mhm.
like, yeah, I feel like they could work it into it, right? I think like um it's just they have to do it a certain way, because like I don't think a spinoff of it would be worth it,
Yeah, I mean,
because
but
you
I'm just
want the
I'm
characters of Joel and Ellie to be the main focus. So what is happening in this particular moment that makes me want to care for Ellie and Joel, or and what's going to happen to them, other than what's happening to these random people that
no,
I don't
exactly.
really care about, right?
Which is why I'm saying the spin-off series because like The Walking Dead, it's like The Walking Dead, a new day, The
Yeah, but
Walking
that's what I'm
Dead
saying. Like,
tomorrow.
are those like popular?
I mean, I don't know. There's probably some that are more popular than others.
Because I know it's like Fear the Walking Dead, and then there's like, which was like the one where it's like they're from LA and they're gonna meet up or whatever. But it's like,
Yeah, it's
I
like
remember at the time people were like, "This is not that great."
yeah,
So it's
exactly.
like,
And
dude,
that they're still doing, I think, spin-offs of that darn show, which is pretty wild. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see how this goes. I mean, this is like the one show I tell my girlfriend, I'm like, we're gonna watch in the living room, we're gonna watch on the big TV, we're gonna put the soundbar on, and we're gonna enjoy it. You're gonna enjoy this.
Yeah.
And so and it's fun to watch, you know, for someone who doesn't know, right? And it's funny because I brought this, maybe not on this channel, but like I had brought up before where there was a night before these shows were out where I was explaining both games to her. It was just like a night of just we're chilling, drinking, and I went through the whole story and I told her everything and how it all connects. And she doesn't have her memory sometimes doesn't serve her well. So she's like, doesn't really remember what I talked about. But at the time, she's like, "Oh, that sounds awesome." I'm like, yeah, it's like super crazy. Like this, the way they tell these story. Um,
And I
and
remember after beating Last of Us Part One, and I think it still happens even with these games. And I guess it's just me, and that's the kind of person I am. But when I beat Last of Us Part One and I beat Part Two, like just in in different times, every time I beat one of those games, doesn't matter. I can't play anything else for a bit. Like it stays with
hits.
me.
Yeah, it
It hits
does.
hard, and I'm like, damn, what a great game. And
It
so
is.
like my thing is like, let me go tell my wife about it because my wife is like my friend, right? So I know she doesn't care, because that's not her thing. But like, I'll be
She'll
like, let
listen.
me like you. I was like, I need to tell her about this story. And like I think at the time it was a little easier to tell them, but like now it's like you and I kind of tell each other a little bit more, right? Like we end up like sharing a little bit more of the things that we talk about. But yeah, for the most part, it's funny because I'll tell my wife like this is the story of this, and then she'll just look at me and go, "Oh yeah, that sounds cool."
So yeah, you'll sit down. She'll be like, "Look, everyone, an old man is talking."
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, I mean,
The
it
story.
worked, right? It worked because we got them to watch the show, right?
I
Like
mean,
I
I
told,
it was
go
kind of
ahead.
forced. It was kind of forced. No, I'm kidding.
No, like with my wife, I told her I was like, like you need to watch this show. Like there, like I wish I could play this game in front of you, but it's not going to have the same resonance because you're
Yeah,
not controlling this story, the narrative of what's happening. And I'm like, this is probably the best way for me to share something I love with you. And I was like, you got to watch it.
yeah,
She's like, okay, I'm excited. I'll watch it because I like was selling it. I think I talked to you about this. I always oversell things, but I'm like, I think this was perfectly oversold.
yeah. I think too. Like, if you wanted to show them the game or show your wife the game, obviously, it's like luckily enough we know it well enough where we're able to know like where to do how to navigate. But like you said, like the exploration and grabbing these notes, like is that something they're gonna be interested in, right? Like, I think there was one part. There was a part, and I won't mention the spoiler here. And if, I hope you've seen the show by now. But with Henry and Sam, I was playing the game, and my girlfriend happened to walk in. I'm like, wait, 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 wait. I want to watch this cutscene. And she watched it. She's like, what the hell? So what just happened? I'm like, it's crazy, huh? That's just but yeah, dude, it's a fantastic game. And like even in the first game, like it's a game I just never really played, right? This is kind of like when Naughty Dog went that certain way, right? I mean, they already had the Uncharted series, but like it got a little more serious, right? When Last of Us started, because then
Yeah,
Uncharted 4 came out, and that was a little more serious. And so I'm really curious when Intergalactic comes out and see how they handle it. But yeah, I'm excited, man. I can't wait. Um, I do eventually do want to play Last of Us Part Two again because it's just such a great story. But I just something about the first one is just it's so good, and I can replay that one so many times. And
I
Last of
think
Us Two as well.
it's
I played it a couple times too, but the first one is just the first one, man. It's just
so good. I think it's a story of father and daughter sort of thing, right?
yeah,
And you're playing as Joel, who's like this unlikely sort of
father figure,
you can call a hero villain. You know what I mean? Depending on how
anti-hero,
you
yeah.
see it. Yeah, exactly. So you kind of like there's something here that's a little slightly different than the second one. The second one feels more dark.
Yeah,
It
no,
doesn't feel
definitely.
like there's a lot of hope here.
Well, what they say is that the first game is hope is the theme, and then the second one is revenge, right?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, dude, a great game. I'm excited to see more of the infected. I hope they don't overdo it because I know they said like we're gonna put more infected, but I think the beauty of that game was like it wasn't it's the people, right, that are more intense. But like at the end of the day, it's like less was more, right? Like there were points where it's like okay, they knew when to throw in those infected, but like and
I
again,
think
like a
it's gonna.
bloater, or like just every
Mm,
once in a while. And what's gonna be terrifying because there's a clip that got released for the second one where she encounters a stalker. So the stalker is a kind of infected that can hide from you and like run away and like go in different spots. And let me tell you, I hated those things, especially in the second game. You have to go through an apartment and go down and encounter them. Oh, that was terrifying. I don't know if you remember
yeah.
this, dude. And but dude,
I vaguely, bro. I
oh,
haven't
you
played that
saw
game
right
in
there,
such a
just
long time.
Yeah, I just crawled by in that little clip. But dude, excited for The Last of Us. Yeah, I don't know what else I can really say on the game. This is kind of
Yeah.
just an episode of just kind of talking our excitement for the show, kind of what we hope. I hope they do follow the story for sure, the second one, and I'm really excited to see Caitlin Deaver as Abby because I think she's a great actress as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, more Joel, more Ellie.
More of Joel. Yeah, I want to say this because I mean, I remember playing The Last of Us Part 2, and I feel like Last of Us Part 2, like you stated, it became more about the people and living in this area more so than the actual clickers or, the
Mhm.
infected. So it became about them more so than anything else, and I think that's what they're gonna do moving forward. They're gonna have the fanaticals, like the religious people that were in the game,
The
right?
Seraphites, yeah.
The
I
Seraphites.
wanted
There
to
you go.
mention
Thank
them
you.
too. Yeah,
Yeah, they're cool as heck because in the game, I mean, in the movie, I mean, in the show, I don't know how they're gonna play it off, but in the game, when you're playing that, they're the first. They are the. They're This is the first time when you're playing the game where they're actually communicating with each other. So if they see a body of one of their friends, they'll go, or like they'll whistle and like they'll do. That was like the Mexican one that.
I hated
But
that whistle.
yeah, but it was crazy, and it was like, and they had dogs, and it was a whole different experience because
Yeah,
now you didn't feel. It's not like that you felt powerful, but you definitely feel less like you got to change up your play style. You got to figure
yeah.
out a different way to
You can't really
handle
go in
these
guns blazing.
situations. Exactly.
But no, yeah, and I will say too, like the second one, like like I love the first one obviously, but like the second one, the gameplay and how it was like, oh my gosh, this is insane. Like I've never played anything like this again. Like Ernie said, like people are having conversations. They're saying people's names. They're talking about their pets. And I just want to say briefly, like you you end up killing one of the pets and it shows up later as like alive and like you're playing with it with another character. And it's like, oh my gosh, like I killed that pet earlier. It's all sad.
Yeah.
And but like and I know in the second one too, what they do is like when you kill someone, you can see it in their face. Like the facial animation is intense. It's like, oh my gosh, you feel like you're actually taking the soul out of this body. And dude, fantastic game. I mean, again, if you have not played these games, we recommend to do so. I mean, you might not have time before the show starts, but I would still play them. And I think when season one came out, I think the first one had a surge, right? In sales, I believe, because people are like, "Oh, I gotta play this game."
Yeah, I think
Which
you're
which
right.
which happens with almost anything, right? I mean, Death
Yeah.
Stranding happened, this trailer came out, they started playing the first one, so I'm excited, man. It's gonna be a good time. I mean, we don't really have to get into the spoiler stuff because, we already talked about how much you praise this
Yeah.
game and how much the show
Now,
is.
are you at the tail end of of this sort of thing?
What do you mean? Like the
Because
episode?
I know you wanted to talk about the controversy, and I don't know if you wanted to still get into that or not.
Oh, okay, yeah, I guess we could. Let's talk a little bit about it. So,
Yeah.
everyone, if you thank you all for joining us. If you don't wanna hear the spoilers, I think this would be a time to sign off. Obviously, we want you to stick around. If you don't care for spoilers, please listen. If not, the rest of the episode is probably gonna be spoiler heavy, so if you are gonna sign off, thank you, appreciate it. So, we'll give you a couple seconds here. All right, we're back. So, let's talk controversy here. So, yes, do you wanna talk about it? Or do you want me?
No, please go ahead.
Okay. So, the second game, everyone, are you still with us here? You still with us? The second game was very controversial because in the very early start of the game, Joel is killed by Abby, which is this new character in this Last of Us world who turns out to be the daughter of the doctor who was supposed to create this vaccine to get rid of to eradicate this infection, right? As you see in flashbacks. So she's on this hunt to kill Joel, and that's all she wants, right? Tommy is there, which is Joel's brother. They don't kill him. Ellie is there as well. She watches the whole thing. They don't kill her because that's not what they're trying to do. They just want to get. That's all she wanted was Joel because they're not. Yes, everyone's bad in this world, but like there's still some good behind them, right? So the whole game of the second one takes place as Ellie trying to find Abby and her crew to kill them all. And as we learn too, is that their relationship is not good, Joel and Ellie, because it was revealed that she found out that Joel ended up, selfishly keeping her alive so she doesn't create the vaccine, and because they were going to kill her, right? So as you do all this, you get to a certain point of the game where you finally meet up with Abby, and she comes and infiltrates wherever you're at, and then the game switches, and now you're playing as Abby, which is an insane move because I know a lot of people hated this, right? Because like obviously they hate this person, right? They're like, this person killed our favorite character. Now we have to play as her. Like, why? It was a very risky move. But as you play this character, you learn, you kind of start liking her, right? She's not a terrible person. She has a heart. You can see where she's coming from. And it's crazy because at the end, it makes you fight Ellie. It's like, well, I don't want to fight Ellie either, right? It's like,
Did I
dude,
let her kill? I let her kill me the first time.
I know it's extremely risky move what they do. And then obviously at the end, Ellie, you play back as Ellie, and you end up finding Abby in this resort with these crazy dudes that made her starve, and you fight her one last time, but she lets you go eventually, right? Because I think she finally accepts. And the saddest part is that they show you a flashback that the night before Joel died, Ellie finally was ready to forgive him. She goes up to him, she's like, "Hey, like I want to maybe hang out, maybe we can try to mend our relationship." He's like, "Yeah, I would love that." And that part is like, "Oh my gosh, like how awful," right? It's like, "Oh, she could have had this relationship, and look what happened." And either way, Abby was gonna try to find him anyway, but, like, now she's living with this guilt of never mending that relationship, and she's all alone as well. So, very risky move. I know a lot of people I can see why people didn't like that. I mean, it makes sense, right? You're forced to play with this character. I thought it was great. I thought it was a masterclass in storytelling. Ernie, what are your thoughts?
I'm with you. I think well, I guess I'm in both camps because when I first played the game, it hit me. It was like I don't want to play as this girl. Like I hate her.
Oh, yeah, same.
Why
Mhm,
why am I gonna why do I want to have her get her revenge on this particular character that I enjoyed, that I like, you know what I mean? And like
mhm.
why do I want to play as I hated every moment of it, right? And then you get to a certain part in the game with Abby because in the beginning is all like the character is vengeful. She's angry. There's this like sort of like just instinctual killer mentality in the
Mhm,
beginning of your playthrough with her. It just kind of feels like she is this evil person, so it was weird. Like you're like, I don't want to play as this. This is like not what I want. But
mhm.
as you keep going and you start to see her life and the people that she like loves and all these things that she takes care of, and you start to sympathize with her. But again, it becomes that anti-hero sort of thing where it's like, do I sympathize with her? Maybe now I can kind of see the different side of maybe why she did what she did. But at the end of the day, I'm still like, no, I want to kill her. Like I want her
Yeah.
to die because of what she did to one of my favorite characters in the game, right?
Mhm.
And so
Well, I mean,
I don't
both,
know, it
because
was
he killed
weird.
one and then hurt the other.
Well, that's true. That is very true. So I guess in that in between camp for me, but like yeah, dude, that's one of the reasons I don't go back to play that game often. But I think
Mhm.
the story was cool. Like it was worth knowing and hearing it. I know a lot of people when they heard because honestly, I
Spoilers.
remember at the time of the controversy, right, was because they found out what had happened, what happens. They were so mad about it that nobody wanted to play it.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't know if it sold well. I'm assuming it did really well, right?
No, it did. I mean, it reviewed very well, it sold very well. Um, but yeah, I see a lot of people, like you said, it's like, because I felt the same way when I first started as Abby. I was like, "No way, like, I have to play as this person?" And it's tough, and I think a lot of people fall off, unfortunately, and they don't see the payout, but, it is worth to explore, it is worth, and I did mention, like, the dog you kill with Ellie and earlier is a dog you interact with as Abby. It's like, "Oh my gosh, like, how awful." Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure it sold well. I don't think it's as good as the first one, but, I mean, it still sold well, and like you said, it looks fantastic, but yeah, it is tough, and that's why I was talking to my uncle. I was like, I didn't give anything away about the second one. I just said, "Look, I really wanna know your thoughts about this," because he's playing it back to back, right? He's like boom, boom, and so I'm really curious to see how his journey is. He's also just one who just beat Red Dead Redemption 2 for the first time, and I was like, "Yes." I was envious, but yeah, man, yeah, so I'm curious how they're gonna do it in the season. I feel like fans of the show are gonna be upset. Obviously, the gamers know, but I'm really curious how they're gonna handle it. Are they gonna do it in the beginning? Like, I think, Ernie,
I
you don't
doubt
think so,
it.
right?
They're gonna do it like episode six. for sure. They're gonna do it later on. I
But
mean,
what are they gonna do in between those, you
they
know?
want to. I mean, it's gonna be like probably the living arrangement, the falling in love, the basically the character building of Ellie and Joel, right? Because you're gonna start seeing Joel take care of Ellie and all that stuff, or maybe they'll do flashbacks where it goes back and forth of like
Yeah.
what's gonna happen in the future and what's happening now,
Yeah.
sort of thing. But I think it's just gonna be character building. It's gonna be Ellie falling in love with what's
Dina.
her name, Dina. Thank you. And then the love triangle with Dina and the other guy, and then
Jesse. Mhm.
seeing how they are building this world around this encampment that they have, right, where it's like a town full of people and everyone's eating well and healthy. And then Joel and his brother are like traveling around trying to find things to kind of help just secure the area, right? And that's when he finds the
Mhm.
guitar and all that stuff. Like I think
Yeah.
they're gonna just prolong those sort of things, but
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
don't know. How many seasons are planned? 3 or 4?
Three so far. They just
Okay.
announced that the third season's working.
I mean,
I
which we already knew.
I hope, man. That's the thing, bro. It's like I really didn't want that. Like I just want it to end.
Yeah,
Like
I
you don't need to prolong it. It's just, man.
which I yeah, I think after the 3rd season is fine. Because I mean, again, the 2nd game is a big game. It deserves a lot more storytelling. I don't think they could have rushed it all in 1 season, but again, they could have maybe done more episodes, right? I think this season's gonna be only 7 episodes, and I don't remember how much the 1st season was, but honestly, I think it's gonna happen early. I think it's gonna be more of the setup of it, and there's gonna be a lot more flashbacks than we saw in the game,
Yeah,
but I mean, I could be wrong. We
it's gonna be a lot. Freaking Game of Thrones style. Pedro Pascal, the Viper scene. You know what I mean with the
Oh,
mountain.
no. HBO doesn't like them. No, I'm kidding.
I guess
But
not.
yeah, excited to see. I mean, is there anything else you wanted to add about this show?
No, I mean, yeah, he's Pedro Pascal in those shows. He's like kind of like Guy Beam, or I think his name is the guy from Lord of the Rings that always dies.
Guy Beam?
I think his name is Guy Beam, right?
No, it's, Sean Bean.
Sean Bean, yeah, Sean Bean,
God Bean.
G-
Gone
Guy
with the
Beam.
Bean.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
he always dies
he
in
always
shows,
just
huh?
dies in the shows and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I think I'm done. I don't know if I want to say anymore. I feel like we've said enough about it.
Mhm.
Without getting too into it, just because
Yeah, we've
I
talked
feel
about
like
this
if we
game.
did get in, yeah, like we'll eventually do like part one episode of the whole game,
Like,
and then part
revisited.
two of the whole thing. It'll be its own episode because it's such a big sort of game, and it's really special to both of us, right?
Exactly, exactly. But yeah, man, if you're still with us, thank you all so much. Is there any you wanna say anything to the nice people?
Yeah, dude, as always, I would like to thank the audience for tuning in every week when we drop an episode. We drop one every Friday, and we appreciate you being there. Lex, I appreciate you hosting the episode and getting these topics together for us. Talking The Last of Us was fun. I had a great time. I'm excited for the show. Please subscribe on our YouTube channel at Checkpoint Reached. Please also follow us on Instagram. We are checkpoint_reached.
Yes.
There, I and Lex will be there to come converse with any of y'all. If you would like to talk about Last of Us, if you want to talk about any concerns you have with gaming or the tariffs, maybe we'll get into it. I don't know. You can talk to me about all kinds of stuff. Lex will be there too. He's a smart guy. He likes to reply to a lot of things. I don't know. But yeah, Lex, send us home.
Thank you. Again, exactly what Ernie said. Thank you all so much for listening. We will all see you all next week. Checkpoint reach. Goodbye.
Goodbye.